Hi, this is Pete Andresen with Andresen and Associates, and it's all good news right now. I tell you, we have gone in the span of a year from a recession must happen to a recession will not happen. We're going to have the first soft landing in modern history, and everything is wonderful, and let's get in the stock market now. That's the basic trend out there, and it's interesting to watch, and it really shows us how, number one, predictions are in the short term, predictions are very, very hard to make, and number two, the mood of the investing consensus can swing very, very fast. So let's catch us up. Inflation in the last couple of weeks has been recorded as declining fast, which is good. The Fed, that's our Federal Reserve Bank, raised interest rates very slightly again, which was expected. No big news there. And instantly the word was that it's going to be the last raise. I don't know if that's true, but people are very, very happy about that. Meanwhile, we keep in mind that with an inverted yield curve in the bond market like we're seeing, this will be the first time we have a soft landing. A soft landing is when economic activity declines but does not go negative. And what that will mean is that we don't have a recession. So the stock market, in general, led by just a few stocks, is leading the way towards happiness and bliss. Bond market's not buying it yet, and they both cannot be right. The other thing that's happened is the M2 money supply went spiking way up at absolutely never before seen levels during the COVID pandemic, and now has reversed about 3.7%, which has always been associated with some sort of recession and stock market decline, temporary stock market decline. Thank you very much. But of course, no M2 shrinkage like that has ever been preceded by such a giant stimulus. Anyway, happy days are here again. We're going to have a soft landing according to the consensus. I'm a skeptic. I am willing to be, I guess you could say, agnostic about this. I don't know what's going to happen. We're conservative, but not out of the stock market, which is, I think, very good given the situation, because had we gone into the expected recession, we'd be happy. And now we can be a little happy because we're lagging, having more assets in the stock market, but we certainly are not left behind. So this is once again proof that that we are incapable. And not just me, everybody is incapable of consistently guessing the short term. Now, the other thing that I'm finding fascinating is how quickly public opinion has turned from anybody who thinks we're not going to have a recession is missing a brain part, to how can you possibly suggest that a recession still might happen? So the consensus is now sneering at any hint of somebody saying that there might be a recession or that things might possibly turn negative in the future. So it's interesting to watch public consensus out there, because it certainly changes. Meanwhile, something else that I've been harping on to the point of excess has been happening, and that is that I, as you know, have been for years, decades, saying that we have too much debt in the system, too much corporate debt. Lower interest rates provoked corporations and the United States government into creating too much debt. And last week, Fitch, that's a bond rating agency, lowered the rating of U.S. treasuries by just a crinkle, reflecting that exact issue. Now, once again, the consensus is this doesn't matter. In fact, I think it's called modern monetary theory, is that debt doesn't matter at all. Well, might I suggest we're about to find out. Now, what I am not saying is that a vast crisis lies before us, or that any great economic chasm is about to open up. No, what I would say is that any downturn will be temporary. Any effect of debt is likely to be reflected in a long-term slowdown of the economy. We're going to more likely become France or become Italy, not become, we're not going to be, it's not going to be any kind of back to New York situation. Now, I'm going to attach a video in the links below telling you where to find the video in which I described all this a couple of months back. So we've been talking about it. If you're not bored, you haven't watched the videos. So stay the course, stay courageous. Let's not try to guess. And please remember to turn off the talking heads in the media. Enjoy the last days of summer. It's been a marvelous time. Blessings.